Welcome, here I've got Xiaomi Redmi 9 and I'm gonna show you how to use the camera pro mode at this device. So at first we have to tap on the camera button here to open it, and for now we are in the standard photo mode. Let's change it by using this settings bar and just simply going to the right to Pro. Here we are. This mode gives us possibilities to choose some shooting parameters by ourselves, and this is useful when we want to learn photographic skills or making experiments. So let me start with this settings bar. Let's go from the left. The first one button here is the white balance, so we can control the temperature of our picture. We can pick here the tungsten light, then daylight, white fluorescent light and the cloudy light. By going a little to the right, we have also access to this extra slider, so here we can adjust the temperature manually in Kelvin degrees. As you can see, by going to the left, we can make our photo more blue, more cold. By going to the right, we can make it more warm. And this is how it looks like. Of course, there's no problem to go back to the auto white balance. You can do it by just going to the beginning of this settings bar here to the auto, and it goes back to auto settings. The next one button here is the focusing. So here we can change the autofocus to the manual focus by using this slider. As you can see, this is how it works here. So we can focusing easily like that, and with this option is connected also this button here at the center. So when we tap on this, let's pick now focus picking. So this option allows us to control if our focusing is correctly adjusted. So these red signs suggest us where is the focus, and as you can see, this is how it looks like here. So I think this is really useful tool here to check if our focus is good. Now let me keep this turned off, and let's move here to the auto focus and to this button, which is the shutter speed. So here we can change the time of taking picture. We can adjust it from 1/4000 of seconds, so this is really short time of taking photo. This should be better to objects, for example, that are removed, to frozen them at the picture. When we go to the right of this slider, we can make our time of taking photo much longer. So let's go to the end here to the 30 seconds. So this is really long time exposure, and this should be better to objects that are stable. And of course we have the auto shutter speed at the beginning of this slider here. So let's stay on this. The next one button here is the ISO, so we can control the camera's sensitivity to light. By using this slider we can make it less sensitive from 100 or more sensitive by going to the right to 3 and 2000. So this is really wide spectrum of the ISO like in the professional camera, and the auto settings are also at the beginning. Now let's move to the next one button. Here we have the exposure compensation. So this is the light managing of our picture. By going to the right here we can make our photo more bright, as you can see, and by going to the left we can make it more dark. We have also here one cool thing, that when we move again to this button at the center and don't pick the focus picking, let's go to exposure verification, so the second one, we have here some tool to check if our exposure is correctly adjusted like in the focusing but with the light. So when we make our picture too dark, we have these blue signs that suggest us where is the area of the picture that is underexposed. And when we make our photo just more bright and too bright, we have these signs that suggest us where we have at the picture too much light. So this is really also a cool thing here. Let me turn this off now, and I want to show you one thing also, that when we go back to shutter speed and adjust it manually, and when we pick the ISO at the same time, so if these two parameters are adjusted manually, the exposure compensation for some reasons is locked. So one of these parameters should be on auto to unlock this. Remember about this. Now let me stay on the auto, the exposure compensation. Let's go to the center of the slider, so also the auto, and let's move to the last one button. Here we have the lens, so we can decide which lens we want to have at our picture, the wide, the ultra wide, this is how it changes, and the macro. Now let's stay on the white, and let's have a look at this button here. Here we can pick the mattering. Now we are on center weighted mattering. Let's tap on the frame average, and also here we have the spot mattering. This is how it works. And I want to show you one thing also. When we tap on the screen like that, we have this ring, and this is the focusing and the exposure compensation ring, so we can separately here adjust. Let me do this correctly, this is not easy at all of the time. As you can see, here is the focus, so we can adjust focusing, for example, here, and the exposure compensation here. But when we tap on the center, it goes back to the auto now. And also here we have this I letter icon. By tapping on this, we can read about all of these settings, so you can also learn from this, and this is really cool. And sometimes when we adjust all of these settings manually, so let me show you. Let's stay on manual in all of this. When we want to go back to auto settings, we don't have to do it separately in all of these buttons. We can do it by tapping on this button here also. So when we tap on this, it asks us to reset all these parameters to their default values, so okay. And now all of this goes back to auto, and we can start using this from the beginning. So let me take a picture now. Let's stay, for example, on the cloudy white balance, the focusing here, shutter speed, maybe this one, the ISO, maybe the highest. As I said, the exposure compensation now is locked because I adjusted the shutter speed and the ISO manually. And the lens, let's stay on this. To see my picture, let's move here to the left corner at the bottom to this button. So this is the quick access to the gallery, and this is my photo. And that's all. Thanks for watching, subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.